son. You gotta be strong in this time, son. I'm a survivor. I will survive. I will survive. And I'm a firm believer. We'll forever strive just to stay alive. That simple means it. Nobody can hold me, man. Nobody can change my energy. Nobody can hold me sick. I will not allow negativity. Nobody can hold me, man. Nobody can change my energy. Nobody can. Nobody can. Everybody show me some strength. No weakness. Show me where I'm going. Strength. No weakness. Show them who we are. Strength. No weakness. Show me where I'm going. Everybody strength. No weakness. Show them who we are. That when you roll. Your enemies, they must tremble. Your enemies, they must tremble. Yo, that when you roll. Everything has to humble. Everything has to humble. I'm a go-getter. I just go hard. I just go hard. And I'm a kind of fella. Put my trust in God. Put my trust in God. That simple means say nobody can hold me, man. This time, son. You gotta be strong in this time, son. I'm a survivor.
Right along, welcome to Ride. Welcome to Tuesday on the Ride. Yeah, man. Tuesday. Another amazing day. Tuesday on the Ride. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? Let me check inside and see who's on the check-in. Good night to you, Kibbs. How you doing, Kibbs? First up. For the first time. Kibbs, you're the first one up for the first time. How you doing, Kibbs? Welcome to the Ride. Before I say anything else, guys, let me also remind everyone that we're still under some restriction violation. I don't know what. Facebook still have us in some kind of lockup, right? Which means that only 50% of all of our syndication goes out. So you got to do the rest, right? So if you don't see nobody on, if you don't see none of your friends on right now, it's because they didn't get a notification. So go ahead and tag a friend, put it on their page, and say, come in, because today, I don't ever think I had a story like this on Ride Along before. Nah. This is the first one. This is the first one of its kind. My guest today, right, and we ain't wasting no time. My guest today was shot 10 times. Yeah, 10 times. And she's here to talk to us. We never heard anything like this before. She was shot 10 times. She's here to share her experience, to empower others. So we'll learn a little bit about her situation. She's here to share her story, because everyone have a story to tell. This is the most miraculous story I've ever heard. Believe you me. On the pre-interview conversation with her, I was like, wow. Nah, it's that of an amazing story. So yes, guys, it's going to be a really rocky story today. So I want you to go ahead and share the thing, invite a friend, put it on a page, invite a few friends. Hermelin, how you doing? Big up yourself, Hermelin. Thank you so much, Hermelin. Tamara, February Moon, good night, good evening to you. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Pamela, thank you, Pamela. I see that you are a supporter. Thank you so much for signing up as a supporter. We appreciate you so much, Pamela. Hey, Spice Girl, if you see Spice Girl get on the concert, wow, Spice Girl, you will get on. I'm still reminiscing about that concert. It was really amazing. Janelle Andrews, how you doing? Welcome and thank you so much. Blessing Ian Baker, how you doing? Thank you so much. Chemo, yeah boy, Chemo get on too. I see Chemo, we just sit down there, but he catching the vibes on the concert. I have to do another one. Anyway, we're not talking about the concert today. I have to get it to my system. I have to get into my system. Today, let me show you guys. Let me show you guys. Let me give you guys a sneak peek. This lady right there, she's a miracle woman. She's a miracle woman. I'll explain to you guys shortly why she's such a miracle woman. Because not much people have that experience. Not much people could sit here after being shot 10 times and tell their story. All right, let's do a 2 minutes, guys. A 2 minutes roll call. 2 minutes roll call. Let's see who's inside. Chemo, I see Lacey J. Put up your flags, guys. Put up your flag wherever you are. Yes, yes, yes. Put up your flag. I see. Well, I see Kibbs already from the start, and all the top fans, and also the supporters. Let me see you as well. Let me recognize you. Gail, how you doing? Big up yourself, Gail. Good evening to you. Please share. Come on in. Cindy B. Janelle, Grenada. Yes, yes, yes. I've seen all you. Put up all your flag. Quick. We have about 30 seconds left. And if you're a brand new viewer, hey Esther, how you doing? If you're new to the program, your very first time, I want you to let us know as well. If you're new to the program, let me know as well, and let me know who brought you in, who invited you in, so I can big them up. Hey Esther, big up yourself, Esther. Thank you so much. Grenada, Grenada, Grenada. Where the Trinis, where the Jamaicans? Eh? I see I see the folks from Canada. I'm seeing the folks from England. Jocelyn, how you doing, Jocelyn? Thank you. Wow. Okay. Yes. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Brenda. Thank you so much, Brenda. Yes. 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 Flags. 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 Flying. 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 All right. Ian. Oh, okay. All right. Auntie Scott. Pick up yourself. Thank you so much. All right, guys, I want to cut the intro a little bit short today, right? Because I told you guys, the story today is that kind of story. Open up our microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching on your screen now a miracle woman. Mary, let me pronounce it. Is it Murray?
Murray.
Murray
Hmm.
Brandon.
Yes.
Murray, thank you so much for agreeing to come and sit with us and talk about this story, because I have never heard a story like this in my 20 something years of being on television media. This is the first story I've heard that like yours. You're the first. So I'd like to thank you and welcome. How you doing today, Murray?
I'm doing well. I'm blessed. I'm here.
Yes. Yeah, and we
I'm
matching
here.
too. We
Yes.
matching.
Abs- uh,
All
yes.
right. So let's start from the beginning. Let's go back a little bit. Tell us about
Okay.
yourself and where you're from, where you are right now, and tell us
Um,
a little bit about you.
my name's Murray Brandon, and I am a Baltimorean, a proud Baltimorean, despite of what is going on in our city. But I'm a mom, a wife, grandmom, and I actually am a founder and president of my own nonprofit, Kiss Inc. Mentoring program for young ladies in Baltimore City. Um, I've been doing that for almost 6 years,
Uh-huh.
and um, and I'm just every day I wake up, I'm just so excited because I'm blessed to see another day,
Yeah.
and 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 I'm just here to do the work. And I'm here, and I've been kept here for a reason. It ain't just because, it's for a reason.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
have to fulfill that reason.
Yes. 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 When I told someone today that I have a program and we're going to be talking to someone that was shot 10 times, someone stopped me. They said, talking to or talking about? I said, no, talking to. She is actually here. Because not much people get shot, well, more, well, some people get shot once and they don't make it. You got
Don't
shot
make it.
10 times.
10.
10 times.
Yes.
I don't even know
And,
where to
and,
start
and
with this.
it wasn't 3 years ago. It wasn't 4 years ago. It wasn't 10 years ago. It was just 1 year
It was
ago.
one
I
year
was
ago.
shot
It was
back
one
in
year ago.
yeah, February 17th, 2020.
Yes, last year.
Yeah, last year. A day I'm never going to forget, but a day I'm going to definitely appreciate.
Yeah. All
Yes.
right. Put it together for us. Tell us
Okay.
the story. How did it all started? Let's go back to that specific day, February
S-
17th. How it started for you.
So on my day, um, my day started off with I was going out doing some shopping, but I also had to every month I help this beautiful spirited woman whom I met. I can't even remember how she came in my life. I think I met her on Facebook. She started following me with my nonprofit program. And every month she's a retired employee for the United States Department of Defense. And every month she would ask me to help her. It'll take her to the doctors because she had, legally went blind. And so that particular day, I knew that I had to, go and take a break and help her from what I was doing. And so it was a visit for her at the doctor's. And I said, well, just call me when you're ready and I'll come back and I'll pick you up from the doctor's.
Right.
And because it was a few hours in between. And so I decided that I was going to stop home because my husband had called me and said that my next to the oldest son, because I'm a mother of four boys and a girl, a daughter. And so my husband said, well, my next to the oldest son needed a jump start on his car because he had left something on in his car overnight and the car wouldn't start.
Right.
And so I came home, and this particular day last year in February, it was pretty warm to be a day in February. It was pretty warm. But when I left out that morning, I said it. When I set out for my morning, I had on this nice green coat that was full of feathers that I love, that I got from a store that I love to shop at, and I had this coat on, and for some reason, even though I was hot in this particular coat, I wouldn't take it off, and the
Right.
coat came past my knees. And so when I stopped home to give my son the jump start, I left my front door open for about 20 minutes before
Hmm.
I end up driving the car around the back. Because in the back of where we lived at, it was a dead end street, but you can go around to the back of the alley because people still will park their cars there.
Right.
So I drove around there and I gave my son, we hooked up the cars and everything. But when we noticed, we seen a car that we didn't notice in the community, that because I was very vigilant of what cars were coming to the community, because for one, our street was just a one street. It wasn't like multiple, and most of the people that lived there for years, or we knew who lived on that road and what cars would be there.
Right.
So um we seen this vehicle ride by, come through the alley, and me and my son looked at each other and we was like, that's pretty strange, because most cars don't come back this way unless they're going to either park. And it was a local cut rate that was behind my home, that been there forever. It's been there since I was a little girl, because I can remember my dad taking me to that cut rate when I was a little girl. So
Right.
I'm like, but it was pretty early for that cut rate to be open. So we just went on about our business, hooking the cars up and everything. And then about maybe 8 to 10 minutes later, we noticed that it was two gentlemen coming across my neighbor's yard and
Hmm.
was cutting down the hill. And my son looked up and he looked at me. He said, Mom, he said, do you know who that is? And I was like, no. You know,
Could you have made out their faces? Could you have made out those faces?
I couldn't make out the faces because one had on the ski mask, for one had on the hood with a face, just a face shield, basically what we're wearing now in the pandemic,
Right.
right? And so, um, my son said, "Mom," he said, "run," you know, and so, um, I happened to run opposite from him instead of running with him.
Right.
And one gunman stood in the yard and he started shooting towards my son, and then the other one started shooting towards me, and then as I was running, he was running towards me. But when he was running towards me, it was something very peculiar about him that
Uh-huh.
I knew that this somebody I seen before, you know. So when I got out, I mean, when he got out, came out the yard and got up close to me, you know, it was just something like the Holy Spirit just said to me, "Stop running, stop running." So I stopped running and I turned around, I put my hand up and I said, "Don't you shoot me." And I'm looking at him in the face and I was like, I'm saying in my mind, I know him, right? And I said, "Don't you," you know, I cursed. I said, "Don't you effing shoot me."
Right.
Right. And so that's when the first bullet went into my face.
Oh wow.
And
Hold up. So he's standing there, pointing the gun at you.
mhm.
I'm getting a little bit of a feedback. Are you hearing me here? Or you hear me on your computer?
Yes, I can hear you well.
Yeah. Are you hearing me on your computer? Because I'm getting a little bit of a feedback.
Yes, I can hear you on my computer. Can you
No,
hear me?
no. See if you could hear me on your headphone because it's giving me a little bit of a feedback.
I can hear you on my headphone.
Oh, on the headphone. Okay, I don't
Hmm.
know why I'm getting a feedback. But hold on, let me rectify that. Because I know that everyone might be hearing a little bit of an echo. Yeah, all right. Let's fix that right now. Guys, you're watching Ride Along Live, and where we are right now is in Ridealong. Just want to make sure that there is no echo. All right. It's a little bit of an echo still on my end. Not hearing you, JR. All right. Okay, are you guys here? No echo? Okay, everything good. Okay, let's keep it like that. I'm not even gonna move. So you stood there, he's standing right next to you with a
In
gun
front of
pointed at you in front of
he's
you.
standing in front of me
Right,
because I turn around as I'm running. I turned around because I knew at that point in time I couldn't get away from him. And then it was just like the Holy Spirit just told me stop running because I knew I couldn't get away from him. And I'm having to trust at that moment. It was just like a million things going through my mind. And so when I turned around, I gave him the directive to not shoot me, and I said it more than once. Um, that's when the first bullet hit me in my face and shot me in my
ooh,
face.
really?
And when he shot me in my face, the alleged person shot me in my face because I haven't been to court yet. So this is still in litigation and everything.
Right, yeah, we
So
use the word
um
alleged.
so I can remember growing up, my grandmother, will always teach us, about the Bible, always told about the Bible. She always said, when the enemy comes upon you, you call on the name of Jesus. And so
Uh-huh.
when the bullet hit me the first thing I did was I grabbed my face and I said, "Jesus, Jesus, Jesus." And I went down to the ground. And after that, I didn't feel none of that. The 9 bullets hit my body. So the first bullet hit me in my face and went through here and came out this side of my face. And then the second, well, I don't know what second, third bullet is, but I got shot here in the left shoulder, here in the left arm, twice in my left leg, once in my left breast, twice under my left breast, once in my right breast, and once under my right breast and under the right breast. And so um I didn't feel anything after that. I don't know if it was because of the adrenaline or it was just because the shielding. But when I came around, I could hear my neighbor coming out. She was coming out her house because she was coming to feed her dog. And so she started screaming. She said, "Oh my God, oh my God, why did you?" She was cursing. "Why did you shoot Marty?" Because that's my nickname.
Uh-huh.
She's like, "Oh my God, you shot her! You shot her! Why would you shoot her?"
Did he run? Did he shoot and run, or he stood there?
So after she started saying that, you could see you could hear the footsteps run off. So that's when she came out her yard and got down beside me on the ground and just started rubbing my head. And she was like, "I'm so sorry this happened to you. Who would want to do this to you?"
You were conscious? You were hearing all
I
this
came,
stuff?
I came around. Yep. I didn't feel anything with the other shots, but
Uh-huh.
for some reason I came around and I heard her. And so then I heard my husband run from out the house and he was screaming and he was saying, "Oh my God, he shot my wife." And he started saying, "Where's my son? Did they kill my son? Did they kill my son?" And so um, another neighbor said, "No, your son went that way." And so um, that's when my husband came over to me on the other side of me and started, rubbing me and was saying, how sorry he was that this happened to me and where was I shot at. And because I was shot in the face and I had a big old gash in my tongue on the right
Mm,
side that was bleeding profusely. I was bleeding profusely from my mouth. I was mumbling, "I don't know. I don't know where else I'm shot," you
mm,
know. Um, And so then about 5 minutes later, after that, approximately, it might have been a little bit longer, but I do know that the police had gotten there pretty fast. And I heard the officer say, "I heard the shots. I was close. I heard the shots."
mm-hmm,
And he asked my husband, he said, "Do you know the victim?" He said, "This is my wife." And he said, "Do you know who did this?" And my husband said, "No, I was in the house when this happened." And he said, "Do you know where she shot?" So he said, my husband said, "No." He said, "Ma'am." So the officer said, "Ma'am, do you know where you shot?" And I was mumbling, "No, no." And so he told his partner, he said, "Get some crime tape because now this is a crime scene." And so
mm,
when his partner got the crime tape and he told my husband and my neighbor they had to back up out the crime scene, I remember him saying to his um, partner, he was like, "How many bullet cases can you count?" And the partner started counting. I remember saying, "One, two, three, four, five, five. It's five, that's far." So at that point in time, I'm like, "Am I shot 5 times or is it five casings?" I didn't know.
mm-hmm,
And so he said, "Well, ma'am, I'm going to have to turn you on your back and I'm going to have to cut all your clothes off you because we have to find, see where you've been shot at." And so, um, um, that's when he said the paramedics are on their way. "Please be calm, stay with us. Um, you're doing good," and all that. And I was nodding my head, and mumbling,
mm-hmm,
And so when the paramedics got there, um, they asked me, did I know where I was shot? And I said, No. I was mumbling no. And so when they got me into the ambulance, the paramedic was talking to me and she was just saying basically, "Stay with me, stay with me, stay with me." Because I kind of was like feeling like a little tired. My eyes was kind of like drifting off. It wasn't like I was losing control of them or anything. I was
You was kind of going
sort
in
of,
and out of
yeah,
consciousness of some
yeah,
sort.
some kind of in and out of consciousness. But I remember when I finally decided to open my eyes, I just saw the sun. When I looked out the ambulance door, I just saw the brightness of the sun. The sun was just so bright and it was shining in my eyes. And I basically was just laying there. And so I said, I'm just going to keep my eyes closed until I get to the hospital.
Mm-hmm,
And then when I got to the hospital, I could remember the trauma team waiting in the bay, in the trauma bay for me. And, had took over. And they were like, "We have to get her hooked up. We have to, do all that." And so they were like, "We have to get some scans and everything on her to see um, where these bullets, are or whatever." And
Let's take a pin
so
right there. Let's take a pin right there and bring everyone up to speed. For those of you who just logged on, uh, Marie here just shared a part of her story, and it's a miracle that she's even here to share this story. She was shot 10 times. She explained the first shot that she received in her face. Yeah, from one end go to her on the next end, damage or mash up her jaw, right? And you were saying also that it didn't touch any one of your teeth.
no, it didn't touch none of my teeth. It didn't break any of my teeth or anything. And that right there was a blessing itself. And the bullet, they were saying that went in, they said it didn't come, it didn't wasn't the cause of my tongue being lacerated. My tongue was lacerated from me biting down, and I bit my tongue that badly.
Right, right.
So that of course was a blessing in itself, you know.
Yeah.
Um and then when I got done with the test, they had to do a bunch of, CAT scans and things on me. And so my trauma team came out with me when they brought me back, and my surgeon stood at the bottom of my bed, and she touched me on my bottom of my leg. She had her hand resting there, and she said to me, she said, I have dealt with a lot of gunshot victims that came through here. One Many have died
Hmm.
from one bullet. Some have died from 7 bullets. She said, but I never had anyone that I worked on that
Hmm.
survived from 10 gunshots
And
because you've been shot 10 times.
wow, stick another pin right there because Lydia James is asking a very important question. Um, were Do you believe that you specifically were targeted? You think it was like some kind of robbery or some kind of you was just in the wrong place at the wrong time?
No, it wasn't a robbery. And at this time I really can't go into detail of
Okay,
what it
understand.
is
Yeah,
because of the case is still in court, but
understood.
I was definitely targeted. It was somebody. It was going to be somebody at my household. It didn't matter who it was,
Hmm.
right? And so, um, and and that's the part that bothers me the most, is because it wasn't um someone that was a stranger in the street, you know. Um, the alleged person was someone that was familiar,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And so, the unfortunate part of that is that um, that's what make it a little bit more uncomfortable, because usually a little bit more fearful at that point, because usually when you get attacked, most of the time it's usually somebody you don't know, usually like a robbery, somebody you don't know, or something like
right.
that, or whatever, right?
It was somebody
So
because you said you recognized something about him after he was running.
yes,
So
I recognize something about him,
that
and
lead us to believe that you know him in some kind of way, without saying it directly. He know you in some kind of way.
Mhm,
It's not a stranger. It
right.
is someone that has been to your house before. It's someone that the family knows. But again, the case is still pending. I know there's a lot of things you cannot publicly talk about, so I
Mhm,
understand.
right.
Let's go back to the point where you were told that you were shot 10 times because you still thinking that you was only shot once because you only felt that one shot to your face.
That's it. That's the only shot I felt, and that felt like somebody had hit me with a ton of books. It's like a big. It felt like somebody had slapped me in the face with like just a heavy ton of books, right?
Mm.
And so, excuse me. And so when the surgeon said this to me, she said, I never worked a case with somebody who's been shot 10 times. And she said, I think I just witnessed a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she said, I think I just witnessed a miracle. She said, you're a miracle. She said, and I want to tell you why you're a miracle. She said, because the other 9 bullets that hit your body,
Mm-hmm.
n- none of those bullets hit your internal organs.
Oh wow. Oh
She said,
wow.
you are very, she said, I don't even want, I can't call you lucky because she said, that's not luck. She said, that's not luck. That's nothing but God. And she said, I don't know if you, she said, I don't know if you're a spiritual woman. I said, oh, absolutely. I mumbled, oh, absolutely. Yes, I am. I
Let's go
said,
back to 10 years. Let's go back 10 years prior, because you were telling me something there that's very interesting. You
yes,
spoke to a prophet,
yes.
and what did the prophet tell you? Talk to us about that.
I was in a store, a local store, and I was doing some shopping. And it was like a day before Valentine's Day. And I think I was in there getting my husband something for Valentine's Day. And it was about maybe 15 people or more in the line. And it was a woman, she was probably about 4 people or 5 people behind me. And she came up to me and she tapped me on my shoulder and she said, when you pay for your stuff, please don't leave. I need to talk to you. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking around. I'm like, you want to talk to me? And she said, yeah, I need to talk to you. And so I said, okay. So in my mind, I'm saying, why do this woman wants to talk to me? Like out of all these people in the store, why me? Why does she want to talk to me? And so, you know, um, it wasn't no that I'm, you know, prejudiced or anything, but it was this little short white woman with brunette hair. She had her hair pulled back in a ponytail. And so I'm like, what is this woman trying to sell me? Or what is she trying to do? Because I'm not buying anything from her. This is the stuff that's going through my mind. So I
Right.
pay so I pay for my items and I hurry up and I leave out the store. So I could hear her tell the woman behind her, she said, can you please hold my spot? She said, because
Mm-hmm.
I need to catch her. I need to speak with her. And so the woman said, sure. So she ran out the store behind me and she said, please, please, please don't leave. I need to speak with you. So I said, okay. I waited. So this little tiny woman comes up to me and she says, I know you're wondering why I want to speak to you. And I said, yes. And she said, because God sent me to you. I said, God sent you to me. She said, yes. I said, why me? And she said, because you. And why not you? So she said, I have 3 things I need to share with you that you need to know that he want me
Mm-hmm.
to pass along to you. He said, she said something is going on. It's a big serpent and a little serpent is trying to attack you. She said, please stand firm. God want me to tell you to stand firm. She said, you don't have to tell me what it is, but it's something in your home. And
Mm-hmm.
so I said, oh, I know what that is. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, and the second thing is somebody on your job don't like you. And she was like, do you have anybody on job? I said, no. I said, I'm the person that goes to work and I'm jolly and I'm happy. I get along with everybody. I don't
Mm-hmm.
have nobody on my job that don't like me. And then she started saying the third thing. She said, oh my God, oh my God. And I said, what? She said, they're all around you. They're all around you. They're all around you. And I said, who's around me? And she said, God angels. You're covered by them. You're covered by them. And she said, one day you're going to see what I'm talking about. And I said, okay. So she kind of scared me. So I got in my car and I called my husband. I said, oh my goodness. I said, this woman, she's a prophet. She has to be a prophet. I said, she just told me about my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, it scared me. And then I called another coworker I used to work with. Um, I was telling her, I said, this woman called me about my life, and I just wondering why me. And she said the same thing. The woman said, she said, why not you? Why can't God send somebody to you to tell you that he sees you, he has you, and you're covered?
Mm-hmm.
So that was on February the 13th, 2010. And
Mm-hmm.
the reason why I knew that it was that time span is because I posted it on my Facebook page. And when I got shot, that memory popped up.
Right.
And so everything that she had told me had came to pass. And I believe that the heavily guarded angels was what she was talking about when I got shot, because it was 10 years to the date that I got shot. I
Yeah.
got shot 10 times. The day that I got shot had equaled up to the number 10. 217 had
Mm.
equaled up. If you add them numbers together, it's 10. So to me, that was my completion. And I was just like, God has me here. He kept me here to do something else. And so that's it was just like, it was so surreal to me at that point. And I got to thinking, well, what is it that I need to do here on this earth? What is it that I need to do? Because it's something, and the reason why I've been kept here, because
Right.
I know people personally who've been shot one time and died, you know? And so um it had started the journey had begun for me. I was uprooted from my home in like a week because they didn't want me to stay there anymore. So
Right.
I went from being shot on 217 to coming home from the hospital. Only stayed in the hospital till 221, 4 days.
Oh,
The fourth
wow.
day, I was out of there. I was up on 218 walking, and and 222 I
Uh-huh.
was packing up to move out of my home.
So what about so it was just barely flesh wound, and I'm sure the guy wasn't just trying to give you a flesh wound. He intended to kill you. He didn't
Yes,
intend to give you a flesh wound, right?
yes,
To shoot you all in the chest. We know what he's
yes.
aiming for. He was just a bad shot, and well, not even a bad. You had angels, so you just couldn't. You were protected completely. What an idiot, right? Anyway, when I read and understood who the person was, it got me even more upset. We're gonna get to that shortly. But what an idiot, right? This kid, because he later found out that he's a 17-year-old kid, a young guy,
The alleged shooter.
the alleged shooter. You have to say
Hmm.
alleged because the case is still pending. And what was so amazing, my producer just sent me a video there that I want to play back. We're gonna ingest it in the system and play it back shortly. What was amazing about this thing is now how he was caught. How he was caught. Tell us about how the alleged shooter was caught in the school.
Um, he had went to school, and he had went to school with a loaded gun, and of course, because the familiarity of who I um was able to identify, they they knew, everything about him. And so he was caught in school, and the alleged shooter was captured, and then it was three other people with him. They all were captured, so everybody was captured. um and I knew none of the other people. um and you know they're off the street. When I got the call that everybody was captured, um I was asked how did I feel, and I said, you know I was happy, but I was sad.
Yes, you were happy and you were sad.
Hmm. I
Explain that
was
to me. Hold on before
I
we speak about that. This is a video of you in the hospital. You only
hmm
spent 4 days in the hospital. That's you there. That
hmm
was like what, day one, two, three, or four?
This was day two.
This was day two. You up? This, you up? You eating? You waving? You were shot 10 times.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, and I could just eat like sip on soup and like broth because my jaw was broke, and
Yeah.
basically just kind of. they would give me ice chips. But I couldn't, eat anything more, like chewable. Um, and I couldn't eat nothing chewable for about it was months.
Right. So there were no long-term therapy or no long-term recovery for you because
Nope, because at first they thought because the way my jaw was broken that I was going to need surgery.
right,
And then the day that I was being discharged, they took another look at my scans, and they took a look at my scan, and noted that that bone will actually fuse back together and heal on its own, and so I didn't need the surgery.
wow. I know that I see there's question there about the target and about your son and all of that stuff. And again, I want to remind everyone that this case the case has not officially started as yet. So there are a lot of information she cannot speak about as it relates to her son, as it relates to the specific target. All of those things she cannot specifically speak on it at the moment. That's why we continue to say it alleged. It happened, but again, we have to say that it's alleged, all right, because of the case. Right. So that was the hospital there. You were saying before about the young man that was found.
Hmm.
Uh, he right here. I didn't get a chance to upload it, but they're saying here that you were saying that he was found in a school. He went to school with a loaded gun,
Hmm.
and he was caught by school security,
Yes.
and that's how he was.
Well, actually, school police. They were
School
police
police.
officers. Hmm.
School police. This is the alleged person right there, young man.
Hmm.
Now a statistic, right? Young black man. Now a statistic.
And that's what makes me sad. When I told you, when I spoke with when I got the call that everybody was captured, and I said I'm happy because of course they're off the street, but I'm sad because here we go again with allegedly four black young boys, guys, males, some of them young and some of them are over the age of 18, are now being introduced to the criminal system that we all know is that we're fighting against now, that is very biased, and that is it's not set up for us, you
Right.
know. And so and I was like, that's what saddens me is um that we got to go through this, and here um and here I don't want no one to. I had so many mixed feelings, you
Right.
know, because of course I'm a mother. I'm a mother first, right? I'm a mother, and as a mother with my child, being a part of the juvenile system, when he got to high school and actually getting into some trouble and things like that. I know myself as a mother being going out into the community and trying to grasp my son back from not being out there. And then, as a parent, and people are just assuming that you're not doing what you need to do for your child because they get into X, Y, and Z type of trouble. And
Right.
so I was feeling that kind of emotion because I'm still a mother, even though I'm a survivor.
Yeah. He tried to kill you. Like.
And so I had to pray. I had to pray. I prayed to God. I said, God, I said, what is it can I do out of this situation? Because it has to be something that could be done out of this situation. What can I do on my end? Because I'm here, I'm a survivor. What can I do? And and it was just like one of those conversations, because I always have my one-on-one conversations with my heavenly Father,
Mm.
and he said, "You have to forgive him. You're gonna have to forgive him." And I said, "Wow,"
Forgive him.
you know, and
Let me just. This is a very, a topic that a lot of people struggle with. That
right,
that F word, that forgiveness word, right?
right,
Because really, when you really sit and think about it, here is a person that came to you with a loaded gun and emptied that gun, that bullets in you, everything, right?
mm-hmm,
He didn't just shoot and say, "Oh my God, one shot, let me run." He did it, and he was conscious. He did it again. He did it again. He did it again and again and again and again and again and again. 10 times. Boom.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
His intention was to kill you. Now
right,
you are faced with a situation where, because of your belief, your religion, you have to get over this and by forgiving him. How do you bring yourself to forgiving a person who tried to take your life?
because you know, um, along, I got baptized at age 9, and um, and growing up, my grandmother was actually a Jehovah Witness, but for me, I wanted to learn about Christianity. So at age 9, but I had my stepdad's mom was a Christian, and I will always go to church with her. But my grandmother, who was a Jehovah Witness, will always sit us down and teach us about the Bible, and teach us about the watchtowers and things, all those type of things. And so I was already filled with the relationship with God, but it was just like me growing up. It was like on again, off again, because you deal with church hurt, so you back up from the church, or you go to a church, you feel like your spirit is not being fed enough, right?
Right,
And so you but you have that relationship, and so once you get the relationship, I feel your spiritual relationship with God, and you're being moved up to the next elevation in your life, you have to learn how to forgive people. And
right,
like I said, my scripture, that when I think about my situation and with the lead shooter, I think about the scripture Luke 23:34. You know, when Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they're doing." And so my thing is, if I don't know his religious background or his parents' religious background, but if you have that relationship with God, there's certain things that you're not going to do. You know what I mean? It's like you're not going to do it, because I know me myself as a spiritual woman. If I do something that I know that is not of God, I'm instantly convicted, right? I'm instantly convicted. So for me not to forgive him, my spirit wouldn't settle. It wouldn't settle, because
right,
it's like, how can I say that I'm a woman of God? And and I'm not perfect, because there's only one perfect man in this world, right?
right,
You know, but how can I say that I'm a woman of God and I'm preaching to the choir and telling people, I get people who call me and ask me for prayer. I get people who call me who ask me for advice. And how can I help somebody if I'm not a true believer myself? I have to be a true believer, especially now, right?
right,
So so how can I not do that and still hold all this hatred in my heart against a person? Because God is a man of love. He's a man of peace. And I needed all of this for my mental. I needed the peace. I needed the love to love again. I needed to be fulfilled. I needed all of that. I needed to feel safe again, you
Right.
know. And even though when I step out my door, I know that the chances of things happening could happen again, especially with all the crime that's going on in Baltimore City. I know that I walk with someone daily on a daily basis that has me. And even if and I always tell my children and I tell my family members and friends, had I even left here that day, I knew where I was going.
Right.
That's the kind of crazy faith that I had.
Okay.
Right. And so I have to. And I have to do that for my inner peace, for me and how I feel. And I didn't want no one else to do nothing or retaliate against nobody or go out there and harm anybody else, because that only leads to more violence, right? And we got enough of that going on. We got enough of violence going on out here in this world, you
Well,
know.
the shooter, alleged shooter, sorry, is identified as 16-year-old Malik Bell of Baltimore. He was arrested, as I said earlier, after fighting with the Baltimore City School Police on February 24, 2020, at a Patterson High School, according to the president of the City School Police Union. So he was caught there, and this happened last year, February of last year. He was caught on the 24th. The process is still the court has not the court ruling, the court haven't started as yet. It's still pending because of the pandemic. You said something to me that was very profound earlier, right?
Hmm.
He shot you. He tried to kill you, but in essence, what he did was save your life. Explain that.
Yes, because when I got shot, um, the day I was being discharged from the hospital, and they was telling me that I didn't need surgery on my jaw, the surgeon said to me, she said, "But on your CAT scan, we noticed that you have a heart condition,
Hmm.
and the particular heart condition, um." It was an aneurysm on my heart. So it was an aneurysm. An aneurysm can burst at any time.
Hmm.
And so, um, and so she said, had you not come in here, you probably wouldn't have paid it any attention, on anything. She said you probably would have just end up having a heart attack. And
Oh,
that's when you probably would have found out that you had this condition. And so I said to the surgeon, I said, out of all of this, even though someone tried to take my life, he actually saved my life.
look
Because
here.
now,
Look at here.
because now I am being taken care of by one of the best um, cardiac surgeons. And then I said, look at that. God put me in the hands of one of the best cardiac surgeons, not just any cardiac surgeon, a world renowned cardiac surgeon, you
Hmm.
know. So I was just like, how do you walk around with a hardened heart? How do you do that? You know, um, you have to continue to live,
So
you know.
young Malik, the alleged shooter, he actually saved your life.
He actually saved my life. He actually saved my life. So that was a double whammy for me, because I wouldn't have known. I never had any heart pains. I never had none of that stuff. And and my actual aneurysm on my heart, it had gotten close. It's close enough to possibly needing to be surgically repaired. So, you know, um, and but they said it hasn't grown anymore,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
So from my last visit, they said it hasn't grown anymore. It's
Hmm.
good. So the only thing we could do is just monitor it right
Monitor.
now.
Wow.
So, you know, um,
Sometimes when people think they're doing you the world of bad, they're actually doing you good.
absolutely.
That's like
Absolutely.
another way to look at life. Some people feel like they're in the worst place in time in life, but that's just probably a prelude to something that is coming big. Like,
That's coming big.
yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the way I had to take my take on it. I had to take my take on it as if, because even before all of this, you know, I am a person, I have always been a part of some type of community work, you know. Um I have always been a person, um I have always been a person to um always shed the light, the try to see the better in people. You know,
right.
my dad always said you always was a forgiving person, you
Yeah,
know, and so, even though, I mean, I, I mean, and that's the day I found out I was truly loved also, because when I was there, people were asking me, was I a celebrity in the hospital? Because that was how many people I had, over 300 and something people out in the waiting areas for me
wow.
that was there. And and my doctors and nurses and them were like, "Are you a celebrity?" And I'm like, "No." And they was like, "You have plenty of people out there that really truly loves you." And
Yeah,
I said, you know, um, my mother always told me to treat people better than I treat them, right?
that's
And
right.
so, and that's what I've always did. And even though I may come off strong at some people, right? I could come off very strong because I have always said that I'm a mom of four boys, right? And I
Right,
have to be stern just in case if dad happen to go away or be absent, right? Thank
right,
God that never happened, right? I had to be stern. So when my son's friends meet me and everything, I'm good. I'll bring you in the house, I'll feed you, and I'll cook for you, and I'll make sure I'll even wash your clothes. But um but when I mean business, I mean business.
right.
I'm the type of parent, you don't come in my house and think you're going to stay the night, and I'm not going to pick up the phone to call your mom and let your mom know that I have your child in here, and I'm
You're
not
no
going to.
nonsense, no nonsense kind of parent. Let me
Right.
ask you this question here. Let me ask you this question. You, if you were to be the judge on this particular case,
Mhm.
and young Malik were to present his case in front of you, what would be the verdict that you would lay on him?
Hmm. Right now, I don't know what to say about that, because what I do want is, I want him to understand that the same God that saved my life still can save his life, right? I want him to know that. I want him to know that even in the process of whatever time he gets, right? I want my job, and I just feel like my job here on earth, my the part of my journey here on earth is, if he goes in whatever time he gets, and and he gets a relationship, right? He builds
Right,
a relationship, a spiritual relationship, and he learns that the same God that saved my life is still in the process of saving his life,
right,
right?
right,
And that he could turn his life around, and he can come out and show some other young men that's out here in the street, that's battling with this entity that's out here in the street, that's sucking up all our black men and killing them and incarcerating them. He can come out here and be a life changer to someone else, you know and say, don't do that, because this is what's going to happen. But because he's so young, you know and I know people look at it like that wasn't a mistake, and of course it wasn't, probably. You know what I mean?
I
But
was.
he's so young, right? And um and I think I believe that he still has time to turn his life around. I truly believe that. You know,
So you
um,
would you would you wouldn't throw the books at him. You wouldn't put him in.
no,
This is
I wouldn't.
attempted murder. This is attempted murder, by the way. And
Yeah,
if
it's
you're going to
attempted
present the
murder.
case, if you're the judge, I'm presenting the case. He shot this lady 10 times. Not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not even six. Oh God, six is bad. But he shot her 10 times. The intention was to kill. Uh,
Right.
he was conscious about this. This wasn't by accident. This wasn't shooting at something else and something happened. He knew what he was doing. He shot her 10 times. Um, you're not gonna.
And some people are, some people are non-tolerant. Some people believe in the eye for an eye, right? Um, that's I mean, that's not how I look at my incident. You know what I
Right.
mean? I don't look at my incident like that. I mean, I look at my incident um and I look at my incident how I look at my incident in a Christ-like set of eyes.
Right.
You know, so um that's how I take it. You know,
Right.
so but um I pray for all of them. I pray for all of them that's was involved in this case. You know, all the alleged people that was involved in this. I pray for all of them. Because some of them young men, the alleged people in this case have children already.
Yeah.
So some of these, so we're repeating cycles, generational cycles again. Children growing up without dads in their life. You know, um, and we all know that's one of the reasons why we have having so many problems in our community now. Absent fathers, absent mothers, deceased fathers.
Yes.
Fathers. Just in the criminal systems, mom in the criminal system, and we have to change that. We have to change that, and that's how I'm looking at it. I'm taking the positive
Yeah, and I understand
side of it.
my position on it, and not to influence your decision. Of course, your position is very strong on it. But I think that with the blatant attempt to take someone's life, I think he needs to understand. And although his life might change, I think if he's just exposed and brought back into the community without any action being taken, he might just go and do it again.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
I don't
learn
think.
from that, from that. He's like, okay, he did it, and then he got loose. He go and shoot somebody else again. So I think that he needs to pay for the crime.
And of course,
That's
I'm
it.
not saying to slap him on the hand and put him back out there. You know what I mean? I don't believe that that's to be the right thing to do. But to take away his whole entire life, I don't know. I don't. You know, because I think like um, we have to get to doing some kind of reformation
Right, right,
and and um, do everybody belong behind bars?
true.
You
Maybe
know,
that wouldn't change him as a person. Maybe locking him up may not help him whatsoever. But um, the message that you want to send, I think just not incarcerating and letting him see the full extent of the law. I'm not sure if he may learn from this experience. But he has a story to tell. He has a story to tell. I would love to hear his story.
right? Because I'm a firm believer, and this is I say, whether you're good or bad, everybody has somebody that loves them,
Yes,
right?
true.
Everybody has somebody that love them, and me as a parent, um, even though you don't raise your children to go the ways that they go, and for me as a parent, it's like, it's hurtful. And I don't know what his parents feel or how they feel, but I know that me as a parent, I know because a lot of times parents get the heavy feedback of, what was she not doing, or what was his dad not doing, or what was this person not doing, and it's always not the parent. Because like I said, I've been on both sides of the fence.
Yeah,
I've been out in the community, and I mean, thank God that nothing has happened to me before then, because I have been out there in some of the neighborhoods with tons of guys that I know probably had guns looking for my son, you know. But
yeah,
but of course I had nothing. I had nothing. I had no pepper spray. I had no gun on me. I had no taser. I had nothing but the word of God traveling with me when I went out there to look for my son. On times when he was supposed to be in school, and he supposed to be in school, and he cut school, and I'm going up there to check see how he going on in class, and he's not there. I'm that parent. I'm that parent that's been out there, hitting that sidewalk. I'm the parent that when my son was 14 years old, and a guy gave him marijuana to sell, I approached the guy and I told him, don't ever do it again, or it's going to be a problem. But in the same set of words, I said to him, what do you need me to do to get you off the street? Do you need me to
Right.
help you with a job? Do you need me to help you fill out an application? Do you need me to help you get you back in school or something? Because um, sometimes people don't do things because they want to do it. you know the peer pressure out here that we're seeing today is so much stronger than what you probably came up under and what I came up under.
Right.
And a lot of these people now, because of social media and what they're saying, you're the only way to become famous, you have to get a people to give you a whole bunch of likes on your social media page, right? And
Yeah.
so they don't so a lot of times when they're young like that, they don't understand. And so that's why when I think about him, I think about the scripture Luke 23:34. Because had he known, if he had the relationship with God, he probably would never did what he did. Trust me. Trust me. And
Yeah.
he and in my heart of hearts, I pray that he could change. I pray that he could be rehabilitated. He's still young, you know. Um, and unfortunately, we think that it's a lot of these young people think that it's cool and it's okay to fit in and it's okay to do things like that to people, and the thing is, you think you can get away with it, but when God says you're not going to get away with this one, and he keeps a person like me alive,
Yeah.
then what do you do then, right?
Wow.
So
Listen, you are definitely a sense of inspiration. Not only that, you are a miracle. You are a
mhm.
miracle. I mean, there are probably very few people who could um, that got shot or have gotten shot that could actually and talk about the experience, and not that you wasn't just shot once, you were shot 10 times. And the other miraculous thing about it is that your experience reveals something that could have possibly killed you.
Yes,
And here you are at a crossroad where you feel like you have to forgive this person to move forward, and a lot of people can't do that.
absolutely
A
not.
lot of people can't do that. But
Absolutely not.
you
Absolutely
are
not.
you are strong, uh, individual, inspirational, all of these things, miracle. You have a lot of angels, all of these things. And I want to thank you for sharing your story with us on
Thank
this
you for
platform
having
today.
me.
Absolutely. We want to keep you in the loop of things, and I know my producer Lois JJ Lynn, she's gonna keep in touch because there are
Yes,
people that would want to reach out to get some strength, because that is the problem that we have in the world. That we don't have enough people that we could have source information. Let somebody talk to you, because a lot of time we have to talk people down from a ledge. People are
absolutely.
just at a point in of their life that they feel like nothing is going right for them. They want to end it. And oftentimes, sometimes I wake up 12 o'clock in the night, 1 o'clock in the morning, getting a call from someone who just at that point in time. Oftentimes, we have to channel those information to our support group. So we'd love if you could be a pillar of strength to some of our viewers that are going through
Absolutely.
stuff. And we really appreciate you. And
Absolutely.
welcome,
Absolutely.
welcome to the Ride Along family. We really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we'll keep in touch. Thanks again.
Yes, please say all right.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Yes, guys, obviously know why I said that.
I'm a survivor.
You guys, know why I said that this story is quite something. Never heard a story like that before, really and truly. She went through it, boy. She went through it, and she's not upset. Now, remember, she said she spoke about that individual that came up to her and spoke to her and told her that she has all these angels and all of these things. Something like that similarly happened to me already. I'm not gonna tell you guys about it now, but I'll do a video on it and detail how this person basically they spoke my life. They told me like 15 years what would happen, and within the second year what they told me actually manifest. Like if it was like that person was like a was like they had a whole vision into my life. I never saw the person before. I'll do a vlog on it and I'll explain it. But there are people out there like that, you know. There are people out there like that. Clairvoyant. You know. It happened to me. All right, guys, thank you so much. Remember, this is Ride Along Live where everyone have a story to tell. And we encourage you to come in and share your story. Share your story, talk to a friend. And we can't stress enough, we want you guys to join our support group. We know that there are so many people that are going through it, but especially in the pandemic, people are feeling lonely. People are very depressed. People just need someone to talk to. And the numbers that we have, our crew is just not sufficient. We have Kibbs, we have Gail, we have Wendy, we have Deanne Fraser, of course, we have Lois JJ. More, big up yourself, but it's just not sufficient, just not enough. So we try to recruit as much people to join the support group so that we could help people help other people. And that's what we need. And also, if you feel moved by anything that we're doing, we encourage you guys to become a supporter, right? Become a supporter because we basically are a conduit for our audience. You know this. Anyone that has need any kind of assistance, they could reach out to us. And as best as possible, we try to help. That's why we have cake sale and bake sale and brunches and all this other stuff. The funds received goes right back into the community, right? Goes right back into helping people within our community. You don't have to be a top fan or a supporter to benefit from these opportunities. Anyone that needs those assistance, we made these things available. Oftentimes, 99% of the times, it comes from our own pockets, right? So if you feel moved by any one of those things that we're doing right here, and you feel like you want to support, you want to become a supporter, you want to donate, you want to any of these things, you could do so, right? You could do so if you want to do Zelle or anything, guys. If you just want to make a contribution to Ride Along, you could inbox me. I'll give you all that information. You don't have to feel forced to do it. Do it at your own, at your own in your own heart. Give as much or a little as you want to. But at the end of the day, we always say that you're paying it forward. Because today, tomorrow, this same money that you're putting out, or that same support that you're putting out right now, tomorrow, we might have to turn back and put it to support you. All right? That's how we build the community. All right? Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. We appreciate everyone for sharing. Don't forget, Facebook still have us on limited syndication. They're not sending out broadcasts. They're not sending out notification. They I don't know what they're doing. Right? So we need your help until they unblock us and until they start sending out our full line of notification. You know, so until they start making sure that when we post something, people see it. Because right now that is minuscule. Sometimes we post something and you guys don't even get notification, right? That's what's happening right now. So still always, guys, check back to the page. Make sure you like the page. Check back to the page. Until that is removed, that's what we have to do, right? That's what we have to do. And all we do, we sit here and we say, everyone have a story to tell. And we're non-judgmental to people's story. No matter what, we have to hear their story. Everyone have a story to tell. That is slowly becoming one of the most dangerous words or dangerous sentence, it seems. Because it seems like when you say everyone have a story to tell, it's like it's an attack. What do you mean everybody have a story to tell? If somebody do something, they shouldn't have a story to tell. You should mute them, lock them up, put them there, never have them open them out. Everyone have a story to tell, and we intend to allow people to share their story. But we understand. We understand. Thank you, Karen, Veronica, Spice Girl, Patrice, Leah, and my producer and team here at Ride Along Live. Thank you, guys. Catch you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
On this battlefield, go still. Shoulders to the wheel.
Welcome to TD Bank, where you'll find the personalized attention you deserve and the legendary experience you expect. Let's do business. If you are a medical or dental practitioner, contact me to hear about our tailored lending solutions for residential mortgages, equipment purchases, practice-related commercial mortgages and refinance. Visit me at 500 Baychester Avenue to hear more about our full range of personal and small business banking solutions. See you soon.
David Williams Funeral Service serve you with dignity and compassion as you mourn. Every day, we embark on the journey of life, and one day, the journey will end. It's on that day that you can entrust the celebration of life of your loved ones to David Williams Funeral Service. Call 718-291-3823.
My name is Hollismap, aka Mr. Killer. Why should I drink any other rum than Clark's Court rum? When Clark's Court is the rum that supports my community, my culture, my country. A long time ago, my ancestors used to work in the cane fields. Today, we own the rum, Clark's Court rum. Grenada's #1 rum. But my people, if you drink, don't drive. When you drink responsibly. And if you're under 18, don't drink at all. Clark's Court rum, Grenada's #1 rum.
Are you fed up of your mask or your foggy face shield? Introducing the Fashion Shield from callallpronow.com. Keep your hairdo intact, your makeup flawless, and be fully protected. Get the Fashion Shield now. Call 516-387-4246 or visit callallpronow.com.
Let's face it, this is not normal times, but life, it must go on. And with all these continued restrictions on get-togethers, you need a streaming company like Ridealong Media Group LLC, one that can stream to all your family members to the comfort of their own homes, both privately or publicly, you decide. One who understands your privacy, one who simply cares. So for that wedding, funeral, public or private event, choose the professional production company with the experience and quality guaranteed. Family can travel? Inquire about our seamless remote participant option. Thinking of streaming your virtual event? We handle it all. From multi-camera video production to streaming, post-production, editing, and more via Zoom, YouTube, Facebook, or any platform required. Call us and speak to our experienced professional team. 212-809-4324. That's 212-809-4324. Ridealong Media Group LLC. We're
feeling hungry, grab a snack. Caribbean food delight. Jamaican pie.